All right, so we've got the 3M performance gun here. You guys know I'm a big fan of it. Well, 3M has did one more thing to this gun to make it even better. They've created some new heads. These are the finer heads. And to me, these heads here, the old ones, were very well made and a lot better than the first generation, because the first generation used to go bad because of the way that this head was mounted on there. It used to have 2 clicks. Well, it flexed the head, it'd wear the O-ring out, and you'd have to change these heads out. Well, this one lasted a long time. I've actually never had one go bad just from being worn out. I usually just change them just because of time, but 3M has sent out a gun. This one actually got lost in transit, and I had to go through a lot to find this gun. So let's go ahead, open the box, and see what 3M has done to make this gun even better. All right, so they did send us out a new 3M gun along with the heads, that way we can test it out. But this here is the pamphlet, and this is going to tell you guys what this gun has changed about it to make it better. So like I said, it's not the gun but the heads that are changed, and these are called the fine finish atomization heads. They're talking about this gun being a lot faster now than the old HVLP version. So these are not only a finer atomization, but they're saying they're faster. So I can tell you what, I've been a fan of this gun for many years, and to me, every time they do something to this gun, it's a lot better than it was. So I'm hoping to really try this gun out here in this video. We've got a nice brand new BMW. We'll shoot this one all the way from the sealer base clear with the gun. That way we can test it out and see how nice of a finish it is. So let's see what we got in the box. Like I said, we've got the gun. The gun's the same as the new 2nd generation. But in here in this box, they've sent out some of the heads. So they make different size heads all the way down from 1.2 all the way up to spray some of your most heavy body filler, slick sands and stuff like that. But in this package, we've got the 1.2 up to the 1.4. They sent out some cups, some of the liners and stuff like that, and the regulator for the gun. So let's open up this here regulator, see what we got, and then we'll check out the heads and see what is the difference from the old one. So I can see here they've got a new regulator style with this one. It looks like a lot better of a regulator, and they got a nice protector on it, that way it doesn't crack. So I may leave that on there just because you guys know they'll fall sometimes and break this here glass. Many painters through the years have cracked that front gauge on this thing, and we don't want to do that. So let's check out these heads and see if we can see a difference in them. So right away, you can see the front of these now is black. Where the old ones were the clear with the orange on the inside, you can still see the orange, which is going to identify what size head it is. So the orange is the 1.4, but let's look closer at them and see what we can see here for the actual change in them. So, all right, so first thing, looking at the head, you can see here on the front of them, this one has the HVLP right on the middle top there. This one has the finer, so that's going to be the first thing that you see here. And then I was looking at it close up. The holes around the needle hole look a lot smaller to me, and they look tighter. So it's hard to really compare the two because they're different colors, so it kind of throws you off a little bit. But I think that the air horns here on the side are different as well. They look a little shorter to me and a little bit fatter. So the real test is going to be trying the gun out. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into this type of technology, and you're not going to be able to see it as much as you are going to be able to see the way the gun sprays to see a different finish on it. So let's go ahead and get this thing clicked in. You guys know how the new one goes on. These are some of the best designed heads that I've used so far from 3M. The way they have these locking in here, because they hold this head nice and tight with this here knob that tightens up around it and locks this in. Because I told you, these heads used to flex a lot. If you had a 28-ounce cup on the top of this gun, the weight used to flex the gun and wear out the O-ring, and these heads wouldn't last at all. But now that they have this here locking in tight, there's no flex in this, and this was a really good design that they came up with. So we've got it locked in. We'll get our regulator all loaded up on the gun, and we'll go in here and show you guys the job that we're going to be spraying. So with these guns, they recommend that you adjust them out from being fully closed. So what I like to do is close them up. On my fan, I'll usually turn it out 2 turns from closed on the fan. I'm gonna spray this like I normally spray my other ones and test it out like that, and we can go from there once we get in there and try it out. But on the fan, 2 from closed, and then on the fluid, I go 4. So make sure you go around, you'll see the knob on it, the little cut in the knob. Just take it out 4 times. 1 more, and that's 4. So we got 2 on the fan, 4 on the fluid. We'll go ahead and get this regulator on here and get in there, and I'll show you guys what we're gonna be shooting with it. All right, so this here is the job we're gonna be trying out. I wanted to try it out on something newer and something big. That way we could really see how this gun is gonna spray. So we have a brand new hood here for a BMW. We're gonna be spraying the top and the bottom. The bottom's cleared as well as the top. Make sure you guys check that stuff when you're doing these jobs. You wanna match the factory stuff that they had before. Don't just clear under hoods if they don't have it cleared. Don't clear the top edges of your fenders if they're satin. Make everything exactly like it was before the car was in the accident. That way you have a quality, undetectable repair. So before I do a job, I'll go over the old parts and check it out and see what that job had on each part of that job. That way, once that car is finished and everything is put back together, if that car was ever looked at, it's gonna look like it wasn't repaired. So we've got a new hood, a new bumper, 2 new hinges, and then we're gonna be blending the fenders. So I'll take you over and show you the body of the vehicle. That way you can see the car, and then we'll get this thing cleaned up and we'll start shooting it with our sealer. All right, so it's funny that that name of this new head is finer, because that is exactly what it is. The gun atomizes the paint a lot better now with this new head on it. So right away when you're putting it on, it seems like it's just putting it down flat, exactly like I like it. To me, this gun struggled a little bit with the sealer and the clear coats, but now they've got it fully mastered for the solvent. As far as the water base, you guys know I'm hands down love the gun for that. But now I think they might have really done something here with this gun. That way it is versatile with everything. So the nice part about it is you take this head off now with your sealer, wipe off that needle here, and then you can go ahead and put on another head. I wouldn't use this again for the water base, but you could clean it and save it for your sealer. But now we'll go ahead, switch out the head and go into our base coat. This was a 1.3 we used on the sealer. We're gonna use a 1.3 on the base as well. All right, so that's the base. And right away, because I use that gun a lot for the base, I could tell that it is different. It is a lot faster. You're gonna wanna probably turn in the fluid a little bit if you're using the older heads and you go to this one, just to get your feel, and then maybe you'll back it out later. But you guys know we're using the Glazerite 1.5 coat application on there. We put a nice wet coat, and that gun does a great job of it. It does use a little bit more material than the other gun. I'm not gonna tell you it doesn't. We got close to almost running out on that one. So make sure you guys take that into consideration. You're gonna use a little bit more material, but you're gonna be faster through that job, so mix a little extra. So we're gonna let that base set up, and then we're gonna go in there and give it the true test to me with this gun, because I told you before, I do use it for sealers sometimes, but the base coat is where it shines to me. The clear is something I don't really use with it that often. I have done jobs in the past, it will work, but to me, it's not really designed for clear with the old head. Now we'll see if they stepped it up here with this new finer head. All right, so we got it all cleared up and we put 2 coats of clear on that. We are using top of the line material here, so that is gonna help this gun produce a beautiful finish. And it did do that. It laid out a nice finish. There is a little bit of vibration going through that gun. I'm not sure if maybe there's a little bit of a problem with the one that I got, but it seems like it's got some kind of a air feel going through the gun, and it almost vibrates that gun. That didn't matter. This thing still laid out a beautiful finish with it. So let's bring you guys in there. We did use the 1.3 throughout the whole job for the seal of the base and the clear, and you guys will see that new finer head on this here clear coat. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so I think this gun here did pretty good for sure, especially with the clear coat. You guys see there that clear has almost the OEM look from BMW. BMW has a lot thicker of a clear than most of the manufacturers, and their peel is bigger. And that is exactly what their gun did. So we did turn it out 3 instead of the normal 4 that I was doing with the sealer and the base coat. And we sprayed the gun at about 2 bar, almost 2 bars what we sprayed for the clear, a little bit under. So I think they did a good thing with this new gun setup with the finer head, especially for the solvent products, because you guys know that we use solvent for the sealer and solvent for the clear, and then we use our water base for our color. So this is a well-rounded gun. Definitely if you guys were out there and you wanted to pick up one gun, you got different settings and different heads that you can do to set this gun up for each type of product that you're going to use. And I think they did a heck of a job with it. So if you guys like this video, check out 3M, check out their gun. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.